And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Riverside County Board Brief as we take a brief look at what happened today during the Board of Supervisors meeting. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in. And during today's Board of Supervisors meeting, it was recognizing Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And you might notice the purple ribbon on my jacket here as well. In fact, there was a bunch of purple ribbons out front here of the County Administrative Center just before you enter the chambers. So you could pick up your own purple ribbon and head inside and support this worthy cause. Let's take a look at some video from earlier today during the Board of Supervisors meeting as we had Katie Gilbertson. She's the executive director for the Family Justice Center, talking about the good work they do. Of course, we pay a lot of attention to it during Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the month of October. But of course, this is something that we need to pay attention to 12 months out of the year. So Katie Gilbertson talking about the work that they do with their group and also the resources, not only for the adults, but also let's not forget about the children as well in some of these cases. Here's Katie Gilbertson talking about the Domestic Violence Awareness Month and what they do at the Family Justice Center.
In terms of what we are here for most is to support survivors of domestic violence, to honor and remember those who have been killed as a result of domestic violence related homicides, and to protect the children that are currently growing up in homes that are abusive and in homes where abuse is currently occurring, so that we have an opportunity to intervene and prevent the future cycle of violence from reoccurring.
All right, thank you for that, Katie. We appreciate it. Again, all month of October, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, something that was created at the onset of the pandemic was the Economic Recovery Task Force here in Riverside County to assist small businesses through all those challenges during the pandemic. And today, they recognize the task force. And before we get to that B-roll, Rob, let me show you real quick some of the recognition that the members of the Economic Recovery Task Force received during the Board of Supervisors meeting. So a lot of individuals from chambers of commerce, nonprofits, and other groups heavily involved here with the Economic Recovery Task Force in Riverside County. Let's take a look at some of the video from earlier today where many of those members from the task force were in attendance and they were able to receive their recognition. They took a group photo as well, and the supervisors had an opportunity to personally thank them for this time. Certainly it's not over, but we've come a long ways during this pandemic, and there was a lot of services and resources for our small businesses here in Riverside County, thanks to the Economic Recovery Task Force. First, let's hear from a couple of our supervisors here in Riverside County as they were praising the work of this task force.
This pandemic has certainly created some challenges in health and safety throughout, and it's disrupted our businesses and at one time completely shut everybody down. And this impact was crippling and had long-term effects on some businesses that never did recover and weren't able to open back up. It has helped others slowly make it through.
Well, you're the experts, right? You're on the ground, you're dealing with the issues on a daily basis. And it was difficult. I do want to say that unfortunately there were organizations, or rather businesses, that didn't survive, and my heart goes out to you.
Through the pandemic, the roles that you played has been tremendous to try to help small businesses continue to survive. And you did that in partnership also. I see our public health director, Kim Zaratari, back there, and I know Kim has worked hard as well to not only protect our public, but to try to provide an environment where businesses could survive.
All right, thank you to Supervisor Spiegel, Supervisor Perez, and Supervisor Washington for those remarks. During the Board of Supervisors meeting, we are also able to catch up with the chair of the Riverside County Economic Task Force, Lou Monville, and get his thoughts on what they've been able to accomplish during a very tough pandemic. Here is Lou Monville.
I'm Lou Monville. I'm the chair of the Riverside County Economic Recovery Task Force, formed by the Board of Supervisors in April of 2020. It was a wonderful group of 21 volunteers from across Riverside County who really had boots on the ground and could tell us what was happening in the business community, the nonprofit sector, tribal governments, labor, that could really act as information and situations change to really support business and community through the COVID crisis. We were able to put a lot of money on the street to a lot of organizations to keep them afloat and to keep those businesses viable in Riverside County. Proud of the colleagues I got to work with and the work they did, and really appreciate the Board of Supervisors for having the foresight and the leadership to appoint this group to really help steer the county through these difficult times.
All right, thank you, Lou, and to the entire task force, because we know small businesses are the heartbeat of Riverside County. So thank you to Lou and the entire team. And finally, here on this board brief, we talked about the election results. It was the gubernatorial recall election. They have been certified and officially counted here in Riverside County. And we heard from Supervisor Spiegel, the chair of the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, about the transparency and allowing the public to see each and every step of the voting process and to go behind the scenes. Even on election night, we were out there going live all night long, and we had many folks from the public there to witness firsthand what the election process looks like. Here's some comments from earlier today during the Board of Supervisors meeting.
This was something I was very impressed with, and I wanted to make note, because when everybody does things bad, you hear about it, but I wanted to acknowledge our Register of Voters office. And Yvette's comments today certainly also solidified that they are working hard to build the relationship with the community, encouraging our observers, giving tours, and I think that's a good thing for Riverside County. And we got this election certified within a couple of weeks.
I made a couple of notes about the recall election and the job I think that our registrar did. It was certainly encouraging but not surprising to hear that the registrar is very open to people monitoring how the office is run. There are protocols for that to occur, and they made opportunities available for average citizens to be able to watch the process.
And a great job by Rebecca Spencer, the Registrar of Voters, and her entire team over there during this recall election. Well, that's going to do it for this board brief. My name is Pep Fernandez. We always appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you next time for another board brief following the Board of Supervisors meeting here in Riverside County. Like gang signs.